Hi foodies, Chef here. Just going to cook some sweet and sour sauce from our latest book. So glad that these books have arrived safely. Hopefully everybody's books have arrived now that ordered them, like from the original launch. If not, please let us know. Please email us, info@thermofoodieandthechef.com. We can look into that for you. Just looking at my goldfish is acting weird. Okay, so I'm going to make the sweet and sour sauce. It's been, we've had great reviews from everybody who's made this, so I thought I will make it. It's from this book, but because it is, before you add meat, it is vegan. It's also in the ebook, the plant-based, and it's in this book. So the sauce is on page 11. Oops, I need to keep that marker because I'm coming back to that. But the full recipe is on page 61. We called it Sweet and Sour Your Way because there is 4 different ways published. So you can do it as meatballs and chicken, a seafood, fish or prawns version, or keep it vegetarian. Okay, so this is the dish I've made the most out of everything in this book. And the reason is my kids love it. My son doesn't call it sweet and sour chicken. He calls it, Mummy, that dish, you know, that dish that I like 3 bowls of. Very cute. He's only 7. So that's what he calls this dish. So what I'm going to do is I don't have any chicken. They like the chicken version. So I'm just going to make the sauce now real quick and then set it aside. And then later I'm going to head to the shops before school pickup and get the chicken. So yeah, it's a great sauce. The other thing I've been doing is making double, triple batches of this and then just freezing it in individual portions. So it defrosts great and it's a fantastic, quick and easy weeknight option. Okay, so I'll get started. So here's this still awake. I'm going to use my old machine. I do have a TM5, so it's exactly the same if you're using the 5 or the 6. Other than, let's just check. Yes, exactly the same. Right, so I'm going to start with, so we need 10 grams of garlic, which is 2 large cloves or 3 or 4 smaller cloves. And we need 5 grams of ginger. Oops, so I'll just show you. So with the garlic, if you haven't seen any of my videos before, you just chop the tiniest bit off the square end, turn the knife on its side and just press gently. You don't have to crush the whole clove, just a gentle press is enough to release the skin and let it loose from the clove. Okay. So we'll just do that to the others as well. And if the garlic's getting a bit old, sometimes, yeah, it's already sort of separated away because the garlic starts to shrink. Oh, that's got a bit of a dodgy bit on it. Just trim that off. Okay, and ginger. Now my ginger I like to buy and then peel just with the by scraping off the skin with a spoon, and then I slice it and then I just store it in the freezer and then I've got it for whenever I want it. But if you are going to do that, which I highly recommend, make sure that if you're going to chop it in the mixer that you get it frozen. If you take this out too far in advance and then just like sit it, I think that's probably enough, sit it on the bench and then it defrosts, because that's quite a small piece, defrosts quite quickly, and then you sting it there. And then you try to chop it, it doesn't chop very well. So because it's gone soft and it's stringy and stuff like that. So get it straight from the freezer if you're going to be doing it that way. And the other little thing I like to do is drop it through, because then there's no chance of it getting just flung to one side. Just going to drop it as the blades are spinning. So we're just going to chop this. So we've got 10 grams of garlic. If you don't have the book or the recipe, 10 grams of garlic, 5 grams of ginger. We're going to chop that 3 seconds on speed 7. So yeah, I ended up at 9 seconds because what I was doing was waiting for that clunky sound, which was the ginger all chopping. And you can see there's no large pieces of ginger. So that's a really good tip. If you find that when you're chopping ginger, it is staying in larger chunks, get the blade spinning and then drop it in. Okay, so now we're going to do some onion. We need 120 grams of onion, so that's about that much, one sort of medium sized onion. And we're just going to chop that 3 seconds speed 5. So I'll just quickly peel that and drop that in. If that was a really large onion, then I'd quarter it. Because the trick is for the size, actually the best guide for chopping is the hole in the lid. Because all you want when you're chopping things is to know that it's going to fit between the blades. So this is a great guide, is the hole in the lid. If it fits through the hole in the lid, then you know it's going to get chopped really evenly. So I don't need to scrape down yet. And we're going to chop 3 seconds speed 5. So that's 5. So that's 120 grams of onion. Going to do a scrape down. I can show you that one nicely chopped. I feel like I'm selling machines again. Oh my goodness. Back in the demo days. Just giving it a... Oh, sorry. Not allowed to do that, am I? Right. The next ingredient is 10 grams of olive oil or sesame oil. I personally prefer the sesame oil in this dish. I just love the aroma of the sesame oil. So 10 grams is the same as 2 teaspoons. Okay, and then we're just going to cook that off. So we're going to 3 minutes, 100 degrees. Speed 1. Done. And I'll see the rest of that. Right, so I'll go through the rest of the ingredients just for those who may not have this recipe. So after that, we're going to add, the recipe says 70 grams of capsicum. Okay, but my son doesn't like capsicum cooked, he likes it raw, not cooked. So what I do for my kids is I add carrot. And the perfect way to cut it for this dish is, just take the very end off, down the middle, like that, and then again, like that, and then just little semicircles, and that will stay in its shape and be a really lovely sort of size to cook with the rest of the ingredients in this dish. And that's more than 70 grams, but that's fine because it's the only way my kids will eat cooked carrot. They like raw carrot, but oh, yeah, so great way to cater for all the fuss pots with this recipe, very versatile. So I'm just going to, if you're just tuning in and you don't have the recipe, I'm going to really quickly run through the entire list of ingredients because this one's only published in these books. So 10 grams of garlic, 5 grams of ginger, 120 grams of onion, 10 grams of olive oil or sesame oil, 70 grams of capsicum, which you just dice into small 1 centimetre squares, but in this case I've used carrot, 20 grams of white wine vinegar or apple cider vinegar. I'm going to use white wine vinegar, 10 grams of coconut aminos or gluten-free soy sauce. I just have regular old soy sauce at home at the moment. I've used up all the rest of my coconut aminos and tamari and stuff when I was writing this because I made it so many times. So now that's all I've got left, so that's fine here. 30 grams of tomato paste, which looks like that. a nice tablespoon size. 250 grams of unsalted stock or water. So I make chicken stock in batches, and then I freeze it in pretty much 1 cup size portions, and I use it for all sorts of things. So that's a really fantastic way to get extra delicious nutrients and flavour in your food. It's just, yeah, if you've got like chicken bones and floppy celery and all of that, just keep on saving it up in the freezer until you've got enough, and then just chuck on a pot of stock. We've got a recipe for it on our website. And then I don't ever add salt to it until I know what I'm using it for. Because yes, it tastes way better with the salt in it, but I don't know what I'm going to use it for, and if that dish will already have the salt in it. So the rest of the ingredients, oh, hang on a minute, I'll just finish listing off those ingredients before I forget. 30 grams of sweetener of your choice. Half a teaspoon of xanthan gum. If you don't have or don't want to use that, this is what is going to thicken the sauce. You can use, you know, like a cornflour slurry. It's just that it's not keto, that's all. Or the tapioca starch as well is another paleo option. Also not keto, but it's a very small amount you need for this type of thing, so it wouldn't really bump the carbs up heaps. And then the salt. Okay, so where are we up to? Add vinegar, coconut aminos, tomato paste. So pretty much everything's going in now. I'll do it in order, otherwise I'm going to forget something for sure. So 20 grams of white wine vinegar is the same as 20 mils of white wine vinegar. So I'm just going to use the spoon because the scales on this old machine just, they don't work very well, especially for small amounts. 10. So again, 10 grams is the same as 10 mils, so it's going to be half of my tablespoon. 30 grams of tomato paste, here's some I prepared earlier. 250 grams of unsalted stock, which is still partially frozen. 30 grams of sweetener of choice, which I've got this monk fruit that I've been buying at the moment because it's just easy to get. It's mostly erythritol with the like 0.05, 1% monk fruit. So hang on a minute, I've got to read my own recipe here. Yep, everything's going in. Half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of xanthan. I'm just going to go really just slightly less than half. Now the thing about xanthan gum is it's not like, it's like, you know, corn flour and flour, if you're using something like that to thicken like a traditional sauce, it's the process of cooking that thickens the sauce. Xanthan gum, no, it's not the process of cooking it, it's the process of stirring it. So you can thicken a cold sauce with that, with an immersion blender or a Thermomix or something like that. It's the process of stirring, and the more that you blend and the higher speed you blend, the more it thickens. So that's why there's a stage for the next step, is to blend it 1 minute on speed 4. This is why this stage is in there. It's not to blend the sauce as such, it's to activate the xanthan gum as a thickener. So we're going to blend on this speed 4. I'm going to double check I've got everything. So, garlic, ginger, onion, oil. This is going in next. White wine vinegar, soy sauce, tomato paste, stock, sweetener, xanthan gum. So everything is in. Weird. So now I've just got to twiddle my thumbs. So what I'm going to do with this sauce, hopefully you can still hear me. Do you know what? 30 seconds will do for the sake of this. It'll be enough. I'll show you now the consistency. So it's got that lovely, let's have a look if I can get a better shot of this. It's got that lovely orange colour. Let me go in there. There we go. A tiny bit of tomato paste just sitting on the centre there, but I'll scrape that off. It's got a nice smooth consistency. It's a bit cloudy because of the xanthan. It's got that traditional colour we're looking for. It'll have the traditional flavour. Okay, and then the last, oh no, I haven't put that right. The last step of the recipe is simply to add the diced capsicum. I'll have to duck down, I haven't set that up properly, which I'm going to do carrot. And cook 5 minutes, 100 degrees, speed 2. So, okay, and that's that. And that's just going to cook away. Come around this way. Here I am. Oops, I switched it over. I didn't even know I could do that. Oh no, how do I switch it back? Oh my god, oh there it is. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so I'm just going to flick back over to the sweet and sour your way. Don't worry, I'll finish this up soon. I'm not going to make you sit there for 5 minutes just to see the end of it. But once that's done, so that's the point then when that's finished, that I would pop it in the freezer if I was just getting this prepared for like some other time. But I will just set that aside. I won't even put it in the fridge because I'm going to use it this afternoon. And what I'll do is buy chicken, 600 grams of boneless chicken thigh, cut into 5 centimetre cubes, and season that with 1 teaspoon of salt. And then I'm going to where's my method? Oh yes, pop that into one of my nice oven baking dishes. This one is the one I use here. It's one of those heavy cast iron ones that's got the enamel coating from Aldi. Pour the sauce over the top, add some other vegetables if you want, and then just bake that in the oven. And then that's it. Super, super easy, super, super quick. So a really great weeknight, simple meal. And then you can serve that with some cauliflower rice. My kids like it with just regular old rice, so I'm just going to stick with that for now. They're only young, so I don't want to rock the boat too much. And that's it. So yeah, let me know if you've got any questions. Pop them in below. Let me know if you've made this dish and what you thought of it. I would love to know. And thank you so much for watching, and look forward to cooking something with you again soon. Bye.